That's one amazing thing about Indian culture. So much of the talking about suffering, so much of the suffering in the West, I would say, is just due to loneliness and, mental health issues. And the kind of communal culture here in India mitigates against that. So yeah, definitely some hardships here, but some real advantages living in India. We also live in a really nice city. We lived in the capital region for a while, and the air pollution just we couldn't handle it. So we moved about 5 hours north, right at the foothills of the Himalayas, in a city called Dehradun, and just a beautiful place, and we love it here.
The pollution in Delhi or the NCR is they call it National Capital Region is intense. It is it's mind blowing. So yeah, but if you get up near the Himalayas, I'm sure it's beautiful. It's a beautiful
Yeah,
area.
especially in the fall. Like I remember when we were living in Greater Noida, the NCR region, every day it just got thicker. And there's a building not too far from our office, and every day it would get less visible until it just disappeared. And after a while, you just laugh. You're like, what is this? This is crazy. But yeah, raising kids there, yeah, we didn't feel right about that. And obviously, some people aren't able to move from there. And so it is a privilege that we're able to work remotely from anywhere in India. And so kind of found the city that was still in North India, close to the capital, Hindi speaking. But yeah, much cleaner air. And then I would say professionally, in answer to your question there, it's one of the best business models that we could have landed on. We didn't move to India because we wanted to make a bunch of money, but moving here and realizing, obviously outsourcing is not a new concept, but we tapped into our relational network in the US to get our first clients, and then being able to hire people, very skilled people, very qualified, many of them with master's degrees, and pay them, a third of what they would cost in the US, and we're paying them above market rate. It's a very solid business model, and I think it's going to work out really well for us.
It works out for everybody because it's a benefit to them. They're getting above average, and you're getting above average people. It's we have a very similar story. I didn't finish college either. I tell everybody has that it's in my company has more education than I
Right,
do. So
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So it's a benefit to our team. They get paid well. They get to advance professionally very quickly. And then to our clients, we're able to offer great service. And I would say we're still a budget company. We're not the cheapest around, but we're able to give great service for a decent price. And then obviously for us, it's a great business model, very profitable. And then the other part of the professional benefit of moving here is, I mean, I just had to learn a new skill extremely fast. And I took some courses, of course, on accounting, but there's nothing like just being thrown problems that you have no idea how to solve and just having to dive in and figure it out. It was like moving to another country, starting a company, and learning a new skill at the same time. It was extremely difficult, but one of the most rewarding experiences that I could have had. Just out of once again out of sheer necessity, we had to learn quick. And my brother had
yeah,
more
it,
experience, but yeah, I was pretty much new to it all.
it's amazing when you're put in those situations and you have to do it, do or die. Sun Tzu in his book, The Art of War, he says, putting yourself on death ground, basically, is like, I have to do this. And when you do that, you learn quick, right? You have to. And you kind of force yourself into this way of thinking where most people are like, I can't do this. And you're like, yeah, you figure out that you can actually do it. So that's amazing. Yeah. So I'm glad you were able to make that transition. That's a lot to handle at one time. The move, all the cultural changes, and everything else. But learning that new skill, but I think the thing that at least my impression is having started your own business in the U.S. It gives you an incredible advantage as opposed to have just being in bookkeeping or accounting, because you get that real world experience of habit being out there and understanding what your clients are and customers are going through. Like, this is not just a P&L, right? This is their life, right? This is, whether you're having to tell them like, hey, you're losing money, and what are we going to do to help you, right? How can we use these numbers to help move your business and your vision along? And I think as business owners, sometimes the people that are kind of behind the scenes don't really understand that, and I'm sure you do, having been and started your own company before this, before moving into the bookkeeping side. So it's a valuable experience.
Yeah, a lot of our clients are sort of in the same category that my lawn care company was in. They're small, medium-sized businesses, often doing construction, things like that. And so, yeah, having run a company myself for a number of years, when I describe my experiences, it really clicks, and you can kind of put yourself in that in their headspace as a business owner rather than just, talking accounting jargon to them.